On to one of the top stories that we've been following since yesterday. Over 3 weeks after superstar Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan and others were granted bail by the Bombay High Court, we have in fact given out details of what the bail order copy in fact said. Putting the Narcotics Control Bureau in the dock, the order says that there's no evidence of conspiracy between Aryan and the others accused in the case. Significantly, the court has added that there was no incriminating WhatsApp chats. The order says that confessional statements of the accused can only be considered for investigation and not to draw any inference. Those are some of the key points which have come through from what the bail order of Aryan Khan had to say, essentially saying there's no conspiracy, no evidence of conspiracy which has been found, and that the WhatsApp chats, which remember the NCB officials had in fact been saying were the main point of concern, that has also, in a way, been questioned as any sort of evidence by the Bombay High Court. Let's look at what my colleague Aarti has to say further in terms of the main points of the bail order.
Certainly, but the caveat here, of course, is that a bail order is neither an indication of innocence nor of guilt, but some very significant aspects of this judgment, some very significant aspects of what exactly the court has said while granting Aryan Khan and others bail. The court has debunked the WhatsApp chat proof. Remember, the NCB has been arguing that they have very incriminating WhatsApp chats in which there is some conversation regarding drugs, but the court has said that there was absolutely nothing objectionable in any of the WhatsApp chats that were found. The court has also said that there's no evidence of conspiracy, which is a key argument that was made by the NCB. So the court has said, in fact, that there is nothing that they could find that indicated that all three of them had conspired for this offense. The court has also, in fact, said that none of them were actually subjected to a drug test right after they were held, and that has also gone in their favor. And interestingly, the court has said that voluntary statements or confessional statements can only be used for an investigation, but not to determine any evidence. So essentially, sum and substance being that the court has debunked several of the NCB's arguments. It has also, of course, had a very different view to the subject that was taken by the special court, which had earlier, in fact, denied Aryan Khan and the others bail. In that particular case, in that particular court judgment, the special court had held that prima facie, the WhatsApp chat shows that Aryan Khan was dealing in illicit drug activities. But the Bombay High Court, while granting bail, has said that the WhatsApp chats which have been extracted show nothing objectionable.
In fact, Aryan Khan's lawyer Satish Manishan, they also spoke to Mirror Now yesterday. Listen in.
Manishinde, good evening. Thank you so much for speaking to Mirror Now. Your first reactions as details of this order copy are now public.
Well, it is apparent that whatever submissions we made were tenable, and even the magistrates court should have accepted it, because the High Court has accepted all our submissions. That there was no possession, there was no consumption, there was no medical test. There was no evidence of any nature whatsoever. The WhatsApp messages did not prove anything objectionable, and therefore it was a case of no evidence. And ultimately, the High Court accepted it. I always said right from the first day that we need a judge who is going to accept our arguments. Unfortunately, both the lower courts, the trial court, the magistrates court, as well as the sessions court, special court, they failed in exercising their jurisdiction. And if you see what has happened subsequent to both Riya Chakravarti and Aryan Chakravarti being bailed out by the High Court, everyone who was arrested in the case is being bailed out. So I don't know why these two gentlemen and the lady were kept behind bars for more than a month. So it's unfortunate, but we have to fight our legal battle according to what the law is.
Mr. Manishinda, you mentioned the earlier judgments which actually denied bail. Now, in those judgments, especially the special court, it introduced this concept called, I think it called it conscious possession. It also said you are liable for the actions of the people that you are traveling with. Do you think that this particular bail order course corrects some of the observations and some of the findings of the special court?
Well, I do not want to comment on what the High Court has said about the special court. The fact is that the order of the special court has been turned down, so that is not an appeal. What was not accepted by the special court has been accepted by the High Court. So I don't want to say anything on that aspect of the matter. It's for the High Court to judge how the sessions courts are functioning.
Mr. Manish Shinde, finally, in terms of the road ahead, this bail order, of course, is going to be a crucial tool or a huge boost for your defense.
Well, we don't discuss future course of action, and as and when things fan out, we will deal with it. As of now, we are extremely grateful to the Honorable High Court, and the fact that Aryan has been released and the central government has forwarded a proposal to decriminalize a large number of provisions of the NDPS Act itself tells us that the NDPS Act all over the country is flagrantly being misused.
Meanwhile, NCB Minister Nawab Malik was quick to hit out at the Narcotics Control Bureau, calling it a case of kidnapping and ransom.
Court order in Aryan Khan case clearly says there is no evidence. It showed it was Farjiwada, the fake case has been made by Shri Wankhede. It was the clear-cut case of kidnapping and ransom. Due to the selfie leak, the plan was totally failed. He was falsely framed. Now it is very much clear by the High Court order.